All right, aspirants, if you're gearing up for the civil services exam, you know you're staring at a mountain of numbers. But what story do they really tell? Today, we're going to break down the official 2025 cutoffs to uncover the strategy that's hidden right there in the scores. Let's dive in. So, when you look at this, don't just see a table of scores. Think of it more like a strategic roadmap. Every single number on this chart is a finish line. It's the absolute minimum an aspirant had to cross to get to the next level. This, right here, is the gatekeeper to a career in the IAS, IPS, and all those other top services.
So, let's kick things off right at the beginning, the preliminary examination. You can think of this as the great filter. It's designed specifically to screen the huge number of candidates down to a much more manageable group for the main event.
Okay, this first row you see, the CS prelim, that shows the minimum marks you needed just to qualify for the mains exam. And of course, the different scores you see across the categories, that's a reflection of the national reservation policy.
Now let's really focus on that general category score, 92.66. Out of 200 possible marks, this one number becomes the most important benchmark for hundreds of thousands of candidates. It's a simple, black and white situation: score this or higher, and you move on. Score even a fraction less, and your journey for the year is over.
But hang on, did you notice that tiny little asterisk right next to CS Prelim? It might seem like just a small detail, but trust me, it points to one of the most critical and honestly one of the most misunderstood rules of this entire exam. Any guesses what it's about?
And there it is. That little star reveals a total game changer. Your entire prelims result depends only on your General Studies Paper 1 score. That's it. GS Paper 2, the CSAT, is just a qualifying exam. As long as you clear that 33% threshold, your actual marks in it don't matter for the cutoff. Just think about that for a second. That 92.66 cutoff was decided solely based on your performance in a single 2-hour paper.
Okay, now, if prelims is a sprint, then the mains examination is a full-blown marathon. This is where the real test of depth, of endurance, and of your analytical skills really begins.
And when I say the challenge escalates, I mean it escalates dramatically. The level of preparation, the sheer number of papers, and of course the scores you need, they all take a massive leap. Let me put that leap into perspective for you.
Remember this number? 92.66 out of 200. That was the key that unlocked the first door. Now, get ready for what's behind the next one.
And now, 739. This number just brilliantly shows you the sheer scale of the mains. This cutoff is out of a total of 1,750 marks from just the written papers. I mean, it's a completely different league, right? It demands a huge strategic shift from just having broad knowledge to being able to write with real depth and analysis. So these main scores, they're the grand total from 7 different papers: your essay, 4 general studies papers, and 2 papers in your optional subject. This is really the absolute core of the entire selection process.
And just like with the prelims, we've got another important symbol here. You see that little hash mark or number sign next to CS main? Well, that points to another non-negotiable rule that every single candidate has to follow.
And this rule is absolutely non-negotiable. You can't just be brilliant in 1 or 2 subjects and hope to make up for the others. You have to secure a minimum of 10% in each and every one of the 7 papers. I mean, you could have a phenomenal total score, but if you fail to meet this minimum in even 1 paper, you are out of the race. It forces a balanced preparation strategy. You just can't afford to have a weak link.
And that, my friends, brings us to the final stage. After the marathon of the mains, the qualified candidates get to face the personality test, or as we all know it, the interview. This final cutoff represents the very peak of this entire year-long journey.
This final row, CS Final, is the culmination of everything. It's the sum of your mains written score, which was out of 1,750, and your personality test score, which is out of 275. This combined total out of 2,025 is what determines if your name finally appears on that coveted list.
For the general category, that final cutoff was 963. This means the very last recommended candidate in that category secured a total of 963 marks. Every single point you score above this threshold means a higher rank and a better shot at your preferred service.
So now that we've broken down each individual stage, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What are these numbers truly revealing about the strategy you need for the civil services examination?
You know, it really boils down to this. Prelims is for elimination. It's a high-stakes screening test. Mains is for selection. It's a deep dive into your knowledge. The final score is what actually gets you the job. And all along the way, there are these strict qualifying rules you simply cannot afford to ignore.
When you see it visually like this, comparing the final cutoffs for the general, OBC, and ST categories, a clear pattern emerges. While the actual numbers are different, the story is the same for everyone. The bar for success is set incredibly high.
Ultimately, what these scores paint is a picture of an intensely competitive environment. The difference between success and failure, between getting the service you dreamed of and not, can come down to a single mark. It's all about precision, strategy, and consistency. And you have to listen to the official language here, because it's so important. These are not average scores. They are the marks secured by the, and I quote, last recommended candidate. This is the absolute minimum threshold for success, a pretty stark reminder of just how high the standard of performance really needs to be.
So, after breaking it all down, the map is laid out right in front of you. The benchmarks are clear, the rules are defined, the path is visible, but wow, that climb is undeniably steep. The only question left is, are you ready to make that climb?